Hi, friends. I'm back, and I have missed you guys. I have missed being here in my cozy little corner, and I'm glad that you're here with me today. We're going to work on Botanical Bliss. Stick around, and I have a couple of shout outs that I want to share. And yeah, we're just going to catch up and craft and create a cover for Botanical Bliss. Hi, it's Carrie from Creative Me Creative. Welcome to my cozy little corner. So today, Botanical Bliss is needing a cover. So we're going to work on that. And I got a few things I wanted to show you too. But first, I wanted to say hi to Tina from Touch of Serenity and to Mary from I Love to Journal. And also, I have a new person, Jewel L. Lowe, 3054 is her handle. So hi to you, Jewel. I'm assuming Jewel is your first name. Let me know in the comments. And I also have a bunch of new subscribers, and I can't see who subscribes for the most part. There are a few that do show up if their accounts are public. But there are a few that have joined this cozy little corner. And I would love to know all of your names. And please share in the comments. Join in the conversations. I know that Tina and Mary have conversed back and forth. And yeah, it's just, this is such a great little community, and it's really fun when we can just share ideas with each other. And so by all means, join in that conversation and let me know your names, and then I can give you all a shout out as well. So while I was digging out papers for the cover, I remembered that I had companion papers in small versions that went with the larger paper like this. And this was just another one of them in this size. There were also some smaller sizes. It's from a company, oh my goodness, Creative Memories, I want to say. And I used to scrapbook, and I mean, we're going back, oh golly, maybe late 80s, early 90s. And I would purchase kits, and I had forgotten that I had purchased this one specifically in all the sizes that were offered. And so I have all these companion papers, and I'm not sure how many of them are going to make it into Botanical Bliss. But because this was our inspiration paper in the big 12 by 12, I thought it would be perfect on the cover. Haven't decided whether we're going to do these big purple stripes at the bottom or the top yet. I'm going to tuck these away. Some of them may become journaling cards or tags. I haven't decided. I found this ribbon here, and I cut off a piece the right length that we're going to use to cover the spine and get rid of that title. So the white lace part is going to fit perfectly on the spine, and then we'll have this kind of burlap to wrap around. And then I just pulled out this linen and thought, you know what, I'm going to do just a tiny little fabric piece with a stamped image. And that's, I've used that at a few spots in some of the Little Pages, Big Possibilities playlist. You can check out the playlist and see the things that we created. And I did use that stamp on a few different things. And those pieces will be included. And then I thought I would add, maybe I will do that way. Just this little layer like that, maybe. And then I like to do the button closure, and I got the button closure idea from Kathleen Mower. And I'm going to do that off camera, but I will link below the video where I did do it on camera so you can see it. And then we would do a button, but I'm not sure to do the green or this wooden one. And I think we'll decide that after we place this down. This I was thinking maybe in here. And then I have this space here. And so in my one of my cigar boxes, I have all of these little floral bits. And so I'm going to go digging through. I've got some paper ones that have been fussy cut. And then I've got these more cloth-like ones. And some of these colors are going to go really well. So I think once this is down, then we will play with that. But the first thing I want to do is round the corners. Oh, do I want the corners rounded? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it square because the book is square. So I will ink that. So, got back from my vacation. Now, we went on a cruise. We went out from Miami, which was crazy the day that we went in to get on to the cruise. And they had a marathon that day, so the traffic was insane. But the weather was fantastic. And we had a really great time just relaxing around the pool and enjoying a couple of cocktails and really great food. And it was just such a great time. We came back on the Sunday, and believe it or not, in Miami, it was only 2 degrees Celsius when we came back. Like, it was cold. And of course, we had been in warm weather for 7 days, 8 days. And man, it was a shock to the system. And then we landed in at home, and it was -17, and that was another shock factor. And yeah, it was just crazy, like crazy, the difference in I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac to put this on. Crazy the difference in weather. But man, it was nice to get away and just enjoy some time together with my hubby. And we came back on February 1st, and February 2nd was our wedding anniversary. So yeah, it was a nice time away. So, and then before I had done that, I had mentioned that I was called to participate in a youth retreat up north. And my goodness, it was a great 3 days. The drive was insane because it was on a good summer day, it would have been a 4.5-hour drive north of where I am. Because of weather and the roads and the snow and the plows, and my goodness, it took 6.5 hours for me to drive up there. But it was a great time. The youth were absolutely amazing group of kids, and there were 42 of them, I believe, that participated in this retreat, and just a great group of kids. So yeah, that was a blast. Okay, so there's the start. I think next I will put on this burlap on the spine. So I am going to use the Fabri-Tac again. And I think what I'll do is I'll go down the center, get that situated onto the spine itself, and then I will glue the sides down. So again, I want to thank all of you who have been commenting and participating in our craft-alongs. Our Saturday craft-alongs have been great fun, and I know a couple, I know a couple of you have been doing some of the craft-alongs with me, and I hope you're enjoying it. And it's kind of nice to do those small little projects because it builds your stash. Like, you don't have to do it with a journal in mind. I'm doing it, I was doing it so that I had ephemera for this journal. But the one pieces that I don't use, I'm going to finagle this around. Let me open it up to the center here. The pieces that I don't use in this journal, I will just put in my stash and keep it for another journal, because a lot of the pieces that I made are relatively neutral colors and will be able to be used elsewhere. So, and it's always nice to have pieces already pre-made. So if you haven't had a chance to watch, there is a playlist for Little Pages, Big Possibilities. And yeah. All right, let's glue this down now. Just gonna go across the top and then down this, it's a wired, like a wired burlap ribbon. So I'm just gonna go down the wire because I don't want the glue oozing out the little spaces. And then we'll go across here. I hope I'm in camera. I'm a little out of practice. The last time I filmed, you would have watched it on Saturday. But I filmed that probably on the 15th or the 16th of January. So it's been a couple of weeks. And man, I do miss being here in my craft room. So I am glad I am back. It's a great place to be when it's cold outside. Today we have the sun shining. Actually, yesterday we had the sun shining too. We had snow in the afternoon, like crazy snow squalls. But it was after I had been sitting watching the sun for a few hours. I was doing some other work in my office space, and just having the sun shine in. I mean, I can handle a winter day when the sun is shining. I don't know how those of you who share winters like I do, I don't know how you feel about the winter. You'll have to let me know. I know Mary lives north of me, and she's been shoveling out over and over and over and over again. And yeah, we've had a lot of snow. We really have. And the day that we left for vacation, wow, that's pretty. I like that. The day we left for vacation, the very next day, I think it dumped like 2.5 feet of snow. And my hubby had to shovel our car out when we got back because the plows had gone by it and buried us in. So that took a little bit of finesse, and I'm glad that I didn't have to do it, because because I don't fare well in the freezing cold. So just getting that extra glue off. You know me and the extra glue. All right. So far, so good. I have sun right there. But I'm not going to close the blind because then it'll be too dark. So I was thinking of adding that like that, just so that we get some more of that purple. I've got that nice purple here and here. And this little piece, it's actually from, I have this little book. It's full of little papers. And I picked this one because that flower's kind of got that burgundy purple color to it. So I thought that that would be nice together. I'm going to ink both of them. And I think I'm going to leave these square as well, just to keep the that same look. And then I think that's going to work. I'm wondering if I should mount this on purple as well, because this was, where did I put it? This was a full sheet like this, and I just basically cut it in half. So I'm wondering if maybe I should mount that as well, just to give it a little bit more separation from the cream on cream. I think I'm going to. I'm just going to cut it a little bit shorter. Yeah, I'll glue it on first and then I'll trim it up. So my goal is to have Botanical Bliss done soon. And I will film as much of it as I can. There will be some things that I do off camera. I do have a few more ideas, some craft alongs. It will not be with 6x6 papers for February. There are a few things that I want to do to add to this. So Saturdays we'll just do some gentle craft alongs, and I'll give you a heads up. If you want to join in, I'll give you a heads up for supplies for each Saturday. Now this Saturday, I have just something else that I'm going to be, I'm just trimming. I know I'm not on camera. I'm just trimming that little edge off so it's a little bit, I think I need a little bit more. Hopefully my trimmer will work. Just a smidge more. Sometimes, yeah, I got some rough edges, but I'm okay with that. Just throw some ink around it. And while we're at it, yeah, so I'll give you a heads up on what we're doing on the Saturdays for Craft Along. And then if you want to join in, we'll just craft together and it will be fun. And you can, I wish there was a way that, I guess you could. I guess we could. You join me on Instagram and tag me that way and show me what you're creating if you have an Instagram account. That would be fun. Okay. Oh, this one really is loving to shred up. There. Okay. Now I can use, I'm going to put a lid back on my Fabri-Tac. Now I can use my Barely Art Glue because it's paper to paper. So I'll put this one down first. So I think we'll put that there. I think that's good. And then this one we're going to, I don't even think that's straight. Let's straighten it up a bit. That's better. Out of practice, I think. It's like riding a bike though, right? You just pick up right where you left off and don't need much of this, just a little bit. And flatten that down. Oh, I put it on upside down. Well, see, I am out of practice. Uh-oh. Well, I think it's going to have to stay on upside down because it's really stuck. Oh, maybe. Come on, be gentle, be gentle. I know I have another one, so I can see if I can get underneath that. I'm going to have to get another one of these out because I don't think I can live with it on upside down. Just get this extra paper off. So the next one will lay flat. Okay. Let's go back into that book and find that same picture. There it is. I can't believe how out of practice I am. There is no need for perfection. And you just find a workaround and make it work. Make it beautiful. You can take any little boo-boo and make it bootiful. All right, let's try that again because I'm going to cover that all up. That piece is going to stick up. Let's pull that off. Okay, that's fairly flat. And we'll make sure that we get it on the right way this time. Okay. Flour down. And put it right where it was. And you would never know. You would never know that there was a boo-boo there. I have a piece of glue here from this. See, right there we go. Got that off. Beautiful. All right. Now that sun is going to be a problem, I think. Oh, maybe not. It's right on the book. It's like the book is supposed to have. All right. And we'll put that piece right there. And then I do think I'm going to go with the green button. I think it just pulls in the colors from the paper the cover of the book. So I think this one's just too small. Yeah, so let's glue this one down. I think that's going to work. And I think I'm just going to put a little bit of glue under that edge so it doesn't continue to fray. All right. Now we'll dig out some flowers and see whether or not any of those will work. Okay. So there's the little bead that was there. Move that up a little bit. Sun is still coming in, but with the blind down, it's not quite so glaring off the glass mat. I'm just gonna ink this a little bit more because now it's more the color of that purple paper, which is perfect. And then I like this orange one. There's orange in that shape, which is more, I think it's going to need to be bigger and a lighter color in between, or it's just going to get lost. What about that? Or there's that same one. If I do that, that shows more of the orange. Is it too big? I don't know. What else do I got in here? That's almost too bright. I don't think I love the purple. I think that's what even when I tried to, I think that's what it is. I just don't love the purple. Oh, that's fun. What about that in the center? Oh, I like that. It picks up on this paper here. Yeah. I do like that. I wonder, what I need is a smaller button. I have this little bin of buttons, and some of them a little green one. I think that's too bright. That wood button, there is these tiny little ones. Very similar. I think that one's more orange. That's probably more wood. That might, actually the orange one might work. Now that I think about it. Yeah. I am going to sew that together. And let's clean this up. I'm going to pop this all back in here. I am actually going to just toss that purple one back in there too. And we will move that out of the way. Here we go. And I think I am just going to use this cord. And I'm just going to bring it up once and tie it right on the top. And that's it. Nothing fancy. I don't need to sew it down tight. Just like that. And hopefully I can wait. Oh, that came through beautifully. Take the needle off. So Mary, you're going to have to tell me how your Scottish journal is coming along. I know that a couple weeks before I left, you were just in the gathering. And yeah, Let me know how it's coming along. If you've had time to work on it between all of your shoveling that you've had to do. And Tina, she had made her own 6x6 papers by taking digital paper that she had printed, gluing it to a lightweight cardstock, and cut it at 6x6 so that she could participate in the Little Pages Big Possibilities. So that was, thanks for sharing that, because not all of us have those 6x6 papers, and just being able to create your own in such a way. And that way, if you're also using the digitals, you know it's going to match whatever you're making, because... All right, now I want to shimmy this back, kind of twisted while I was... There we go. We're going to put it on just like that. That's really pretty. And then I still, now I'm wondering if we should use the wood button. Yeah, I think I like the wood button better now. It's too bad that wasn't flatter, or I would do both. I wonder if that's too bulky. Because then you've got the green frame with, oh, maybe we'll do that. I'm going to do that off camera though. I'm just going to glue this flower down. I'm only going to glue the center so it has movement. And I'm just going to put it right there. Hold it there for a minute. I love the way the rust picks up on the rust lines in this paper here. And the little bit of orange plays with that as well. And then with the writing and whatnot, it just really kind of pulls everything together beautifully. All right. So that is that. I am going to do the closure, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like when it's finished. So yeah, I'll be back in just a second. So I have done the elastic. I've put the double button on, and I just made it nice and neat on the back side. You can't even see it actually. Just a little cross stitch there. And then the 2 holes for the elastic to wrap around the button. I left a lot of room for expansion because I do plan to put tabs and some lace and fabric edging on, so I needed room for it to expand. Plus I haven't even decorated within yet. I added the extra little flower here. I felt like it gave it a better, what's the word, juxtaposition. So it's the 1, 2, 3, and I feel like it's more balanced that way. And I was able to use that little purple flower, and then I just glued that little wooden bead from the purple flower onto this light yellow one. So that is it. The cover is done, and she is looking beautiful, and I can't wait to fill her up. I do want to do some pockets inside, and some writing spaces are in there, and maybe some slight decoration on some of the pages, and then it will be finished and ready to go to her new home. So if you've made it this far, I apologize for being a little bit discombobulated. When you take 2 weeks away from your craft table, it takes a little bit to get back into the mojo of things. So hopefully my next video won't be so chaotic. I'm not sure if chaotic is the right word, but all over the place. How's that sound? And yeah, I thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking it out if you're still here. And blessings. Take care, and we'll chat soon. Okay, bye-bye.